Welcome to Write Now Workshop Podcast, where you can write a book and change the world. I'm your host, Kitty Bucholtz, and this is episode 284. It's Worth It, an encouraging words episode coming to you on Sunday, March 6th, 2022. There is a lot going on in the world today. The invasion of Ukraine, the flooding in Australia, and still the pandemic. And it can make us feel like there's nothing that we can do to make the world a better place. Everything just seems too much and too big, and oftentimes just too far away. And so we think what little good I could do probably wouldn't even make a difference. But there is a huge difference between there's nothing I can do and there's maybe only a little thing I can do. So on today's Encouraging Words episode, I want to remind you of some of the many things that you could do that could help other people and that would probably make you feel better. And if you're feeling a little helpless, like there's nothing that you can do, it'll make you feel like you're not helpless. There are things that you can do to help. So just a reminder, one of the biggest and best things that you can be is if you know somebody who's being personally affected by just big, difficult things in life. It might not have anything to do with any of the things that I just said. It could be a sudden visit to the hospital or something happening with one of their kids that you just heard about. Being a cheerful, supportive person to the people around you who are going through hard things can be huge. It really can do it can make such a big difference in a person's life just to be surrounded by positivity instead of negativity. So you could send a text or an email. You could let them know that you're praying for them. You can offer to walk the dog if somebody's in the hospital, or the traditional age-old bring a casserole to someone who's experiencing some sort of hard time. Just give them one more meal that they don't have to prepare. So there are lots of little things that we can do just to be a positive, supportive, encouraging friend. And I think that that is probably one of the biggest things. And don't discount how a positive, uplifting text or short email can really make a person's day and make them feel like they have a little bit more energy to go on. Now, I know that sometimes I have moments of feeling like, oh, I've got extra money and I'm going to give this big amount to this big thing that I'm really excited and passionate about. And other days I'm like, I don't have any money to do anything with. Sometimes it's in your head and sometimes your checkbook really is saying that for today. But think of it this way, even the smallest gifts, and think of how many times a small gift can keep adding up. $2 is a tube of toothpaste or a toothbrush for someone to be handing out on the borders of Ukraine for people who are waiting to figure out where they can go. And I don't know about you, but sometimes brushing my teeth after just a long time of not being able to, like on a long flight or something, I'm just like, oh, the feeling of clean teeth just makes me feel better. $2 is a toothbrush. $5 would be sanitary items for a woman who's waiting on the border to find out what's going to happen with her family. That would be a huge weight off for mine to not have to worry about, now what am I going to do about this stupid problem? $10 could be a first aid kit or some food or there's so many things that $10 could do. $10 in the US goes sometimes a lot farther in another country. So a very small amount from your side can actually make a big difference to somebody else. So don't underestimate the big changes a small gift can make. And sometimes you're in a place and in a mood and everything has kind of come together where there's a big need and you're like, I could actually do that. I could help with that. So for instance, there are some people in our church who are going to be driving to the Ukraine next week and picking up some people that have permission to come to Sweden and just getting them through from Ukraine to Sweden. The trip, just getting the cars, they're going to take 3 cars down, and each car, the gas and the ferry fees and all the things that will take to get the car there and back again is going to be about $1,000 US per car. So let's just say that you were thinking, I have $500 I could give this month to something that, especially if it were going to be specifically used to do good today, wouldn't that be awesome to know about? Then you could perhaps be one of the people who help these cars to get to Ukraine and back and bring people back with them. Um, there's going to be at least three homes in our church that are opening up to having some families staying with them, and the getting the people here would be a huge help. And also the extra food that these families will need to be purchasing because now there's an additional family staying with them. That sort of help would probably be a huge blessing to people, in addition to going to the store and buying a bunch more toothbrushes and some more toothpaste and some more shampoo and conditioner and soap and all the things that we need, right? So if you are interested in being a very active part of something that's going to happen right now, you could go to cityheartssweden.org. And there's a button there that says Ukraine, and then there's another button that says donate. And you could donate however much and just mark it, for the Ukraine or for getting people from the Ukraine. Make a note in your donation, and that will be making a huge difference even just this week. Then maybe you're thinking, okay, that's all well and good, but I already give to the Red Cross, or I do this or that. What would make you feel really good? Maybe giving something into your local community. So for instance, my sister runs a 501c3 charity called Chum, which was actually named after her horse, Chumley. And it is Children and Horses United in Movement. That's what she decided to make Chum stand for. And it's a therapeutic riding facility that helps kids who have all sorts of different, well, actually kids and adults who have all kinds of different issues that they need help with, particularly mobility and that sort of thing. Kids with cystic fibrosis and multiple sclerosis and all sorts of things that I probably don't even know about. And so during the pandemic, this is one example of there are lots of places that they have to keep on doing at least the base level thing, even if they can't have clients in, or even if they can't have their doors open. And my sister was saying, they may not always be able to be open because of the rules and everything, and so they have fewer clients, which is fewer dollars coming in. She's like, but the horses still need to be fed every day. And I was like, yeah, there's probably a lot of charities like that. I know zoos were also in the news for a while as like, still please support us because we still have to feed the animals even if you can't come see them. So maybe there's something like that. If you're interested particularly in my sister's charity, and in the US, of course, these charities are tax deductible. The City Heart Sweden is in the middle of becoming a tax deductible entity. So right now, I think that when you donate, it'll actually say C3 Malma Church, which is our church. We're trying to make this into a charity as quickly as possible so that people can use the tax deductible benefits. But you probably know lots of places near you that are also charities. And so when you give your donations, you can get a tax deductible benefit. So chumtherapy.net is my sister's organization, and there's a tab there for donations, and then you can just donate to Chum and feed some horses this week. Or maybe there's something else near you, a zoo, or like a no-kill pet shelter, or what is interesting to you, what makes you feel passionate. Look around and see if there's something in your local community. One of our friends spends so much time at the local no-kill shelter, just like walking dogs. They need to get out of the pens and out into the sunshine, and they all need to be walked, and that's one of the things that she's been doing for years and years and years. And I always thought, what a kind of a great way to go out into your community and do something good for something that you are passionate about. So I bet that there are all sorts of things that you can think of now. As I start listing a few of them, you hopefully are thinking of lots more. And I just wanted to say, I normally consider myself a nice person, but I was having quite murderous thoughts about Putin. And still, kind of struggle with just wanting him to end what he's doing, which part of me is just like, I know a way to have him end what he's doing, end him. It's not really what I feel, but it's not really what I believe, but it is what I feel right now. And one of the things that helped me with that, just being real here, people, one of the things that helped me with that was when I found out that a friend of a friend was part of an organization that was, or I don't know if it's even an organization, or just a bunch of people who got together and said, let's start collecting things for Ukrainians that will be coming to Sweden and won't have anything. And so the hours that I spent going through all my closets and pulling out clothes and blankets and coats that I didn't need, and the bigger that pile grew on the couch and the better I felt about, I think it's that feeling of helplessness. Somebody is being treated very badly and very unfairly. People are dying and you feel like there's nothing that you can do about it. And then you're like, no, there's this one thing that I can do about it. I can go through my closets and look for blankets to give because this is something local to me. Or, I can go to this website and give a little bit of money, maybe a little, maybe a lot, and it will do a very specific thing to people who have a very specific big need right now. And these things, they can just make us feel better. And if we're feeling helpless, feel less helpless. If you're more politically active, there's probably a lot of things that you know how to do. And you could be working on, one or two of those this week, something that makes you feel like you are doing something that's making the world a better place. Now, that I believe that any of us could be writing a book right now that will change the world. So also, don't stop writing. Your words matter. What you're doing is important. At the very least, think about how good it feels when you really just need to get away from the world and its problems and your own personal problems. You can get lost in a really great book. That is no small thing. So please continue giving that to people. And maybe you're writing something else that is going to move the world and change the world in a more obvious way. Keep writing, keep doing this. What you're doing is important. What I'm doing is important. And I want to encourage you today that no matter how much or what you think might be how little you're doing, it's worth it. It's going to make a difference in people's lives today and in eternity. And you are going to just have this feeling inside of yourself that somehow this is okay. This is good. You were able to do something and be a part of helping other people's lives to also be better. So hang in there, keep writing, think of something that you can do that will help other people, and it will also make you feel better this week as well. Bake someone a casserole or a pie or some cookies. That's what I do. I don't know how to cook. I can make a casserole, not too bad. I'm really good at cookies. So whenever somebody has a baby here and somebody will say, oh, we should, start taking a whole bunch of casseroles over, I'm like, I can make cookies and brownies. So what is it that you're good at and that you love to do? Do it for someone else. Have a fantastic week. I love you, and we will talk again soon.